Hey y'all, what's up? All right, so I was about to go through the next video. So the next video is going to be dealing with what is called a proportion. Okay, so all a proportion is just an equation because we have an equal sign that two ratios are equivalent. Okay, equivalent just means equal. Okay, so I know 2/3, the ratio 2 to 3, is the same ratio as equivalent as the ratio 4 to 6. Okay, so I know these two are equal. Okay, now how can I tell if two ratios are proportional? Okay, the main way that we're going to be able to tell is going to be through multiplication. If it cannot multiply, then it is not a proportional relationship. Okay, so here we go. So let's look here. Okay, so if I have the ratio 2 to 12, 3 to 18, and 4 to 24, this is a proportional relationship. As you can see, I can multiply each of them by 6. 2 times 6 is 12, 3 times 6 is 18, 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, so I know this is a proportional relationship. Okay, same thing over here. Look over here. Well, if I have the ratio 2 to 6, 3 to 7, 4 to 8, this is not a proportional relationship because I can't multiply the same thing. I could multiply 3 to 2 to get 6, but 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, we're not going to get 7. 4 times 3 is 12. This is where we're adding 4. Okay, that's an additive relationship. We're not going to be able to show a proportional relationship. Okay, so what you've got to pay attention to is when you look at the ratios, if you can't multiply the same number for each of them, then it's not a proportional relationship. Okay, and it's not a proportional relationship. Another easy way to look to see if the two ratios are proportional, if you look right here, 9 to 12 and 6 to 8, if I can simplify them down, and if I get the same ratio on both of them, then I know they are equivalent. Okay? Then they are equivalent. Okay? All right, so let's look right here. So here we go. So for each online store, determine where the proportional relationship between the number of comic books and the total cost. Store A charges $3.50 for each comic book and offers free shipping. Okay? So here's my unit rate. So last week we talked about unit rate, figuring out how much it is per thing. So $3.50 per comic book. So what I can actually do, if I can multiply each by $3.50, then I know it is a proportional relationship. Okay, so I just had to multiply each of them by $3.50 because this is how much it each costs. Okay. If I look down here for each online store, determine whether the proportional relationship between the number of comic books and the total cost. Store A costs $3 for each comic book. Okay, $3 for each comic book, and $7 for shipping. Now, I don't even have to look at the table here. I can go ahead and tell very quickly if it's $3 and then $7. So I'm having to add these two together. I already know this is not a proportional relationship because, like what we just said, a proportional relationship has to be when we can multiply. Okay, not adding, we can multiply. Okay. If you got questions so far, you can either stop the video, rewind, or I've sent you a whole lot of more videos. It probably explains a little bit better than I am right now. Okay? All right. Let's move on. All righty. So let's look at number 3. All right. So shower uses 12 gallons of water in 3 minutes. Okay, 12 gallons of water in 3 minutes. Like what we've known before, this is a rate because gallons and minutes are not the same thing. Okay. Now, what I could probably do pretty quickly is I can figure out the unit rate pretty quickly. So if it's 12 gallons in 3 minutes, I already know, let me get my handy dandy marker. if it's 12 gallons in 3 minutes, that's a terrible looking M. I know for 1 minute, that would be 4 gallons. Okay? So 12 gallons, 3 minutes, I already know that's 4 gallons for every minute. You can make a ratio table to show the amount of water used in the minutes and then graph it in an ordered pair. Okay? So we've seen the coordinate plane before. Okay? Now, nice thing with the coordinate plane is, one, we only have to be able to do it in the first quadrant. Okay? We don't have to worry about any negative numbers. Okay? Now, if we look at our table, I can multiply each of these by 4. Okay? Because we already know it's 4 gallons per minute. Okay? We already know it's 4 gallons per minute. So that's why we're multiplying it times 4. Okay? 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4, all the way through. And the other big thing, if you look right here, it's starting at the origin. Okay? It's starting at the origin. So we already know if there was no minute in time, there was no gallons. Okay? But for 1 minute, there was 4 gallons. 2 for 8 gallons. 3 for 12. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? So I know this is a proportional relationship. One, because it starts at 0. Okay? All right. Now, you can probably go ahead and tell that this one's going to be a not proportional. Okay? So I'm going to graph these 3 points. Here's the big thing I want you to notice. Where does it not start? It doesn't start at the origin. So I know this is not a proportional relationship. Okay? This is not a proportional relationship. Okay? So if you look at the graph, and if it does not start at the origin, or if I'm not multiplying by the same number every single time, it is not a proportional relationship. Okay? All right. Any questions so far? Okay, we're about to move on to the next part. Okay? All right, so the next part is this. Okay? How can I tell if these two ratios are proportional? Okay? How can I tell if these two ratios are proportional? Okay? And the first thing I'm going to do, like I've told you all year, I'm going to go grab my handy-dandy calculator because it will need help a little bit later on in life. And I also need a pencil. All right. Got my pencil. Got my calculator. All right. So here we go. Let's look at number 1. All right. How can I tell if these two ratios are proportional? Okay. All right. Now, the easiest way to look at this one is what we're going to be calling the butterfly method. Okay. You may have heard the butterfly method before, past life, dealing with you can technically use it for adding, subtracting fractions. We don't do that. Okay, let me make that clear. We don't do that. But I can use it to tell if these are two proportional. Okay, so I'm going to do what's called cross multiplication. Okay, so I'm going to cross here. I'm going to multiply these two numbers. I'm going to multiply these two numbers. Okay, the reason we call it the butterfly method is I can kind of make it look like a butterfly. Okay, so again, I'm going to multiply 1 times 21. That's 21. 7 times 3 is 21. 21. If I get the same number on both sides, yes, they are proportional. Okay. Same thing down here. I'm going to multiply 1 times 30 to get 30. I'm going to get 6 times 5 to get 30. 30 is equal to 30. So yes, they are proportional. Okay? All right, here we go. So how can I tell if these are proportional? Okay? I can pull a few out and do the butterfly method, but here's what I can tell. Again, it has to multiply by the same number. 1 times 7, well, that would multiply by 7. 2 times 8, well, that's times 4. Okay? So I already know that is not a proportion. Okay? 3 times 9 is times 3. We can't multiply times 2. So I'm betting the way we're looking at it now is I can get a proportion, but that'd be adding 6, and we do not add. Okay? All right, look over here. What can I multiply by 1 to get to 5? I can multiply by 5. Can I do the same? 4 times 5 is 20. Yes. 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 So this one is a proportion. This one is a proportion. Okay? All right. Hop down. In number 5, determine whether there's proportional is a proportional relationship between the two quantities. Okay? We are not going to draw a graph. Okay? We do not have to draw a graph. Okay? All right. So if I look here, what number can I multiply by 1 to get to 150? I can multiply by 150. Okay? Now, could I technically do this next part of my brain? Yes. But I want to check myself sure. So if I can multiply by 150, so 2 times 150, 2 times 150, 300. That one works. Okay. Okay. 150 times 3, 450. Does that work? Yes, it does. Okay. 150 times 4, 600. Yes, it does. So I already know, yes, this is a proportional relationship. Okay. Again, we're not going to have to draw a graph. So if you've already finished this and you've already drawn the graph, that's fine. You just got to be able to read the graph. Okay? You just got to be able to read the graph. Okay? All right. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to do on your own 6 through 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, 6 through 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Okay, 6 through 9, 10 through 11, 12, and 13. Okay, all right, so I'll be back later with another video. Hope this helps. Again, if you got questions, email, message me in Classroom, hit me up, and I'll help you out the best I can. Okay, peace.